Today we're talking about how the world is changing fast, and are you ready for it? So my name is Andrea Oram if you're new around here, and I am a freelance music teacher. I work part-time and I help other music teachers figure out how to either leave their 9 to 5 or not even work a 9 to 5 in like public school or something like that, but without working nights and weekends. I actually don't work nights or weekends. So let's dig into this topic though, because this is concerning for a lot of teachers. A lot of people are thinking about the future of music education as we currently know it. And frankly, not just the future of music education, but the future of education in general as we fully know it. There are statistics coming out over the past couple of years that alternative education options like homeschooling, online schooling, different modes of educating our children are skyrocketing. And the number of students that are taking advantage of some of these different options is growing every single year. And so this can be a concern, not just for education in general, but for music education specifically, because sometimes we struggle with our programs and having enough students and having enough engagement in our programs. And so if we are having some of those concerns, that becomes a job retainment issue, right? Having enough students to have a full-time staff member. And if there isn't enough students to have a full-time staff member, what does that look like? Or there aren't enough students specifically taking that course because they're so busy doing AP and early college and all these other tracks, right? These alternative options. And so how can we make sure that we as music teachers create and foster a program and a space that those students who are in more of a traditional education setting create a space that they really want to be in if they're in that school system? And frankly, if they're not in that school system, how can we create different programming and opportunities for them that help them to thrive? One of the things that we have to keep in mind is a balance, especially so for me personally, as a freelance music teacher, one of the barriers to entry for some of these students is cost. Private lessons cost too much for some of these students to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. And frankly, I don't have the time in my current situation because I'm the primary childcare for my baby girl as well. And so I don't have the opportunity or the advantage of being able to just give away my time as a teaching private lessons for really low cost. So I choose to create other opportunities for these students, like group lessons and other like ensemble opportunities where they don't have to pay nearly as much per lesson or per class as they would normally taking private lessons. So being able to structure our opportunities for students is so important to be able to be successful in the coming future, whether that looks like online opportunities or in-person opportunities. So we as music teachers need to get really creative with how we are giving our students, whether they are taking traditional education routes or alternative education routes. We need to be able to give them really creative opportunities for ourselves. So we really have to think outside the box, which honestly, let's be real, we're music teachers, we're creative people. We should be able to think outside the box to see that the world is changing pretty quickly and be able to meet it with opportunity. So instead of getting concerned and freaked out and nervous about it, we can take that as an opportunity and a challenge, a good challenge for growth in our own lives, in our own jobs, in our own employment options. So I'm curious, are you seeing some of these changes in your area the way that I'm seeing these changes in my area of the world? And I'd be curious, how are you managing that? How are you, not just emotionally yourself, like how are you managing it personally, but also what opportunities are you creating for your students in a more global sense? So I have lots of ideas. In fact, I wrote a whole blog post about it yesterday, and I just realized I'm almost out of time. I have to run and go do something. So I don't have more time to dig into that post, but if you're welcome to go read that post. I dropped the link in the description of this video in case you want to check it out. There's some statistics and things like that there too that may be useful for you. But anyway, I'm just curious to hear what you are doing, how you are navigating this change head on and looking forward to it rather than being afraid of it. So thanks for joining me today, and I will catch you in the Freelance Music Teacher Moms group if you're in there, and we'll have some conversations in there about this and other things too. So have a great rest of your day. I will catch you later. Bye for now.